Hey everyone, welcome to our new series where we dive deep into Adam Smith's The Wealth of Nations. Today, we're kicking off with a fundamental question. What exactly is a nation's wealth? Let's get started. Measuring national wealth. Adam Smith's groundbreaking book, The Wealth of Nations, addresses the crucial question of what constitutes a nation's wealth. Smith proposed that the wealth of a nation should be measured by the total annual production of all its industries, divided equally among its citizens. This idea resonates with our modern concept of gross national product, GNP, per capita. Although Smith didn't explicitly use the term GNP per capita, his concept closely aligns with it. Despite the technical challenges of his time, Smith's vision was strikingly similar to our current understanding. He believed that wealth should be gauged by the average amount of goods and services each citizen can consume, reflecting the overall productivity of the nation. In essence, Smith argued that a nation's wealth isn't about stockpiling gold and silver, but about the goods and services it produces. This was a revolutionary idea at the time, contrasting sharply with the prevalent mercantilist view that equated wealth with the accumulation of precious metals. To better understand Smith's concept, imagine a small island with 1,000 inhabitants. If the island produces goods and services worth $1 million annually, each inhabitant's share would be $1,000. This per capita measure gives a clear picture of the average standard of living, highlighting productivity and economic health. The mercantilist perspective. In Smith's era, the prevailing belief was that a nation's wealth was its stockpile of gold and silver. This mercantilist view equated wealth with the amount of precious metals a country possessed. Monarchs and economists of the time believed that value was intrinsic to these metals, which led to policies focused on accumulating gold and silver through trade surpluses. Mercantilists thought that exporting more than importing would ensure a surplus of gold and silver, thus increasing national wealth. They implemented high tariffs and trade barriers to protect domestic industries and maximize exports. However, these policies often led to trade wars and stifled economic growth. Smith argued that this perspective conflated money with real value. Gold and silver were merely tools for trade, lacking inherent value. This misinterpretation had significant implications, leading nations to make misguided economic decisions such as hoarding precious metals and imposing heavy trade restrictions. According to Smith, these practices hindered real economic growth and development. Smith's critique of mercantilism was not just theoretical. He observed that countries with mercantilist policies often experienced economic stagnation. For example, Spain, despite its vast influx of gold and silver from the Americas, suffered from economic decline because its focus on precious metals diverted attention from productive economic activities. The evolution of money. Smith traced the history of money to illustrate his point. In early societies, barter was the primary method of trade. For instance, a hunter might trade a deer for a pot crafted by an artisan. This method was cumbersome, leading to the development of universally accepted items for trade, like cattle, salt, and shells, which were valued for their utility and desirability. Eventually, metals like gold and silver became the preferred medium of exchange due to their durability, divisibility, and universal desirability. These metals addressed many of the limitations of previous barter items. However, even metals have limitations, leading to the creation of coin money by governments to standardize weight and purity, ensuring the credibility and ease of transactions. Smith noted that metals, while more practical, still required oversight to ensure their purity and weight. This necessity gave rise to the practice of minting coins, where governments would stamp metal pieces to certify their value. This system made trade more reliable and efficient, paving the way for the complex economies we see today. To dive deeper into the evolution of money, let's consider various societies and their unique forms of currency. In the ancient world, the Mesopotamians used barley as a standard measure of value. In parts of Africa, cowrie shells were commonly used. In North America, Native American tribes used wampum, which were beads made from shells. The transition to metal coins was significant because it allowed for more precise and durable currency. The Lydians, around 600 BC, were among the first to use coins made of electrum, a natural alloy of gold and silver. This innovation spread throughout the ancient world, revolutionizing trade and economy. The true source of value. Smith believed that the value of goods comes from the labor required to produce them. In a barter system, people traded goods to minimize their labor. This labor theory of value was foundational for later economists, including David Ricardo and Karl Marx. For Smith, the amount of labor that a good can command in exchange is a true measure of its value. However, measuring labor isn't straightforward. Smith suggested that free markets tend to balance prices with the true value of labor involved. For example, a pot that requires 10 hours of labor would naturally be worth more than one that takes 1 hour, assuming equal skill levels. Over time, the interplay of supply and demand would stabilize these values. Smith argued that the real value of money is in its ability to facilitate the exchange of labor. Money itself doesn't have inherent value. It's valuable because it can be exchanged for goods and services produced by labor. This perspective shifted the focus from wealth as money to wealth as the products of human effort. To further explain, let's consider the production of a simple loaf of bread. The value of the bread isn't just in the ingredients, but in the labor of the farmer who grew the wheat, the miller who ground the flour, and the baker who baked the bread. Each step adds value through labor, culminating in the final product. Smith's insight into labor as the source of value helps us understand modern economies. Today, we see this in the service sector, where the value is often directly tied to the time and expertise of individuals, such as in healthcare, education, and technology services. The role of division of labor. Smith's key insight was that the division of labor boosts productivity. Even in a small pin factory, dividing tasks among workers dramatically increased output. Specialization made workers more efficient, saved time switching tasks, and spurred technological innovation. Smith illustrated this with a famous example from a pin factory. He observed that when workers specialized in different tasks, such as drawing out the wire, cutting it, and attaching the head, productivity soared. This specialization allowed each worker to become highly skilled at their task, increasing overall efficiency and output. Smith gave the example of a child in a steam engine factory who devised a simple but ingenious improvement to avoid repetitive manual tasks. Such innovations often came from those directly involved in the work, who sought ways to make their jobs easier and more efficient. This demonstrated how division of labor not only increased efficiency, but also spurred innovation. Let's delve deeper into the benefits of division of labor. Imagine a car manufacturing plant where each worker is responsible for assembling the entire car. This would be inefficient and error-prone. Instead, by dividing the work into specialized tasks, one worker installs the engine, another the wheels, another the electronics. The factory can produce cars faster, with higher quality and lower costs. This principle applies across industries. In agriculture, one farmer might focus on growing a specific crop, while another raises livestock. In technology, teams specialize in different aspects of software development, such as coding, testing, and user experience design. The division of labor maximizes efficiency and drives economic progress. Division of labor and trade. Smith argued that trade arises from the division of labor. When people specialize, they produce more than they need and trade the surplus. This mutual benefit drives economic growth. Efficient markets enable this trade, fostering more specialization and productivity. Trade isn't just about exchanging goods. It's about leveraging individual talents and skills to create a more prosperous society. This specialization and trade cycle leads to a more efficient allocation of resources, driving national wealth. Smith believed that by allowing individuals to focus on their strengths and trade freely, societies could maximize their productivity and wealth. To illustrate, think of a town with a skilled blacksmith, a talented baker, and a proficient tailor. Each one focuses on their craft, producing more than they need. By trading their surplus goods, they all enjoy a variety of products and services, enhancing their quality of life. This interdependence fuels economic growth and social cohesion. On a larger scale, countries engage in international trade based on comparative advantage. For example, a country with fertile land might specialize in agriculture, while another with advanced technology focuses on manufacturing. By trading, both countries benefit from each other's strengths, leading to a more efficient global economy. Markets' role in division of labor. Markets are crucial for supporting specialized labor. In dense urban areas, specialized professions thrive because there's a large, diverse customer base. In contrast, in sparsely populated rural areas, people must be generalists, doing many tasks themselves. Smith observed this dynamic in Scotland, where small villages had generalist workers, while bustling ports like his hometown of Kirkcaldy supported highly specialized trades. The market size and diversity directly influence the extent of labor specialization and productivity. The larger and more diverse the market, the more opportunities for specialization. This in turn enhances productivity and economic growth. Smith's observations underscored the importance of vibrant markets in fostering economic development. To further understand this, consider the difference between a small town and a major city. In a small town, a single store might sell groceries, hardware, and clothing because there aren't enough customers to support specialized shops. In a major city, however, there are separate stores for each category, allowing for greater specialization and efficiency. Moreover, large markets attract innovation. In cities, businesses compete to offer better products and services, driving technological advancements and improving quality of life. This competitive environment encourages continuous improvement and adaptation to changing consumer needs. Conclusion. Smith's revolutionary ideas shifted the focus from accumulating precious metals to enhancing production through labor. He argued that real wealth lies in the goods and services produced by a nation's workforce, not in its stockpile of gold and silver. This fundamental shift in perspective laid the groundwork for modern economic theory and policy. Smith's insights into the division of labor, the true source of value, and the role of markets remain foundational principles in economics today. His work paved the way for a deeper understanding of how economies grow and develop. As we move forward in this series, we'll explore how nations can boost their wealth by increasing productivity and encouraging efficient markets. We'll delve into specific strategies and policies that can help foster economic growth and prosperity. In the next lecture, we'll explore how nations can boost their wealth by increasing productivity and encouraging efficient markets. Stay tuned. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into the wealth of nations. See you in the next video.